I want to also dive into the business of radio. Let's assume मुझे radio host बनना है, पर मुझे एक radio station भी खोलना है अपना, या radio show खोलना है. And from a financing perspective, how does a radio show make money?
What do you think? How do we make money?
You tell me. No, so basic.
Take a guess.
Run ads. But what I really want to dive into is, what are the metrics you're tracking? What are the most important metrics? And then when you're looking for ads or sponsors, what rates they typically pay for, how much did it cost, how did it scale according to your viewership? Those are the numbers you're trying to get into.
So ads is, of course, the basic mode of revenue on any radio station. The rule is to play 15 to 20 minutes, not 15, 10 to 15 minutes of 10 to 15 minutes of radio space in an hour on any radio station. Usually the fight is between the sales and the programming. We're pushing, no, we need to play more songs, and they're like, no, we have more ads and all that. So that's how it works. Of course, if you're sponsoring, on drive shows, on the breakfast show and on the evening show, then of course the rates are much higher because most of the people are driving either to work or they're coming back. So those are better, bigger slots, which are more expensive than the other slots on the radio.
How much does it cost in comparison?
Yeah, I don't know. It again differs from...
Just estimates, yes. मुझे अपना शो कार्ड निकालना है तो कितना?
Yeah, मुझे serious, honestly मेरे को नहीं पता है. But I think it ranges between, I don't know, 500. I don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, you sell a certain package and all that, right?
It's not just a one-off ad. Basically.
Yeah. So for example, depending on the budget of the client, if you have like some 30,000 dirhams to spare or 50,000 dirhams to spare, then we'll tell you what slot will work. And okay, ads is just one of the modes of revenue. The other things are that you run a contest on the show, or you have a live read. There's something what you call an RJ mention or a live read, which means that the copy points of your brand or whatever you want to sell will go in the voice of the RJ. So on my show, I'll say XYZ brand, they've come up with sale, go shop online and all that. So that's another way of... So when a client comes, we actually tell them that, right now you need awareness. So maybe run ads. I remember it was Kailash Parbat or one of the restaurants. They came on board and we were running advertisements for them. And we told them to run it on the weekend because people go dining on the weekend. And they literally came back. I think it was Kailash Parbat, if I'm not mistaken, or some other brand. And they came back after 2 months saying that they've been flooded.
Oh.
And there were people who had gone to their restaurant and said, we were just driving around deciding where to... There's a full debate happening in the car within the family members.
Always happens.
Right? Where to eat, whatever. The ad played on the radio. We heard it on City 1016. Unanimously, we decided, okay, let's go to this restaurant, Kailash Parbat, and So why am I bringing this? Because there's also a way of there's a proper strategy that goes into playing the commercials for different brands on what time slot will suit your brand and things like that. So
is there a hierarchy? Let's say if it's a host read ad versus you just played an advert versus competition, is there one that's better than the other, more engaging?
Like as far as RJs are concerned?
Yeah, like do you charge higher for, let's say, if you're reading the ad out as compared to...
Yeah. Of course. There is definitely a difference between an RJ reading your ad or just a commercial playing on the radio.
Because you're less likely to switch, right? Otherwise, I'd flip a station agar ad chal rahe. Insurance market or ek ad aaya, Alfred ka ad aaya, I've switched out.
Mat bol yaar, big spenders on City.
I'm putting the name out so they're sponsor, right? This is a product placement.
Nobody's switching City 1016 when insurancemarket.a is playing.
No, that's when I listen very actively.
See, the fact that you remember that.
Yeah.
Clearly they're doing a good job, I feel. Insurance market.
All forms of publicity are great. Okay, so what about the metrics? What are you tracking? Is there time spent listening, or are there any other metrics that you're tracking?
Yeah, so there are two things basically. One is TSL, which is time spent listening. And there's other thing called QMs. So every radio station has these two parameters. QMs is the size of the population that tunes into your radio station. Okay, so let's say City 1016 has 3.5 million people listening to the station on a daily basis. So that's my QM. Okay, and Shalaj,
What's the word you're using? How do you-
Cume, C-U-M-E, Cumes.
Oh, CUME.
Yeah,
Cume. What
yeah.
does it mean?
I think it's the size.
It's an acronym? Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not an acronym.
Okay,
It
okay.
means the size of the people listening.
Gotcha. Sorry. So 3.5 million are listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one is TSL, time spent listening. So Shalaj, when he sat in the car, he tuned into City 1016 and he heard Lokesh's show for 40 minutes. And that's the average time spent listening to our station by these listeners.
You have a unique identifier for me?
So there's a proper research that happens
okay.
Across listeners. And then these are the numbers that pop up. So if you're doing well in Cumes and if you're doing well in TSL, which is time spent listening, then you take those data, those details to your clients and you say that, hey, this is what we look like and this is what makes us the most listened to radio station in the region. So yeah.
Is there a tussle? Because if you play less ads, I might spend more time listening. But then if I'm spending more time listening, then you want to play more ads, make more money.
Yeah, of course. It's a full, it's a, what do you call that? Catch-22 situation. No, catch-22 situation. Ki boss, matlab, if you're playing more songs, then you're more popular, then more clients will come on board, then more ads they would like to play and all that. So yeah. Yeah.
So that's always a problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have though. If you're having clients coming to you because you're popular, it's a good problem to have. Actually, City has tackled that. I'm not saying it just because I work for the radio station. Because by the virtue of being a very popular radio station, we do get a lot of people, advertisers and clients. So we started doing something called 40 minutes non-stop music, okay, which is playing 5 times in a day. So those 5 hours, you get 40 minutes non-stop, uninterrupted music, So we do cater to our listeners and then we do cater to our advertisers.
Is that what maximizes TSL? Have you ranked what makes people stay? Is it music? Is it people talking? Obviously ads, I guess, is lower.
It's a bunch of things actually.
Okay. Competitions or something like that. Calls.
It's also how well you tease. There's something what you call tease. So okay, I'll come to the tease part a little later. So yeah, so TSL is, if you're playing 40 minutes non-stop music, that's it, I've had you logged in for next 40 minutes. You're not going to change stations because there are no ads playing, right? Secondly, of course, I am a radio presenter and I said, you have a chance to win yourself 10,000 dirhams. We're going to play ABC game. You have to recognize this famous voice. So then as a listener, even if you're not sending a message, you're going to tune in for the next 15 minutes. You're going to listen through all the ads and all that just to know who is that lucky bugger who's walking away with 10,000 dirhams. And the third thing is active listening and passive listening. Okay, so most of the content that we are creating on the radio, I'm actually giving you a lot of insights, by the way. This is
industry secrets.
No, these are not secrets. This is just even if I say so myself, this is knowledge that not many people share on a podcast.
I think this is fascinating though. And what do you know, maybe next week 102.8 Mera FM shuru ho jayega with all of these.
Inshallah, man. So be it.
With the best mentor possible.
Absolutely, man. I hope you do. I hope to hear you on the radio soon, man. You really have a great voice. And with the kind of questions that you come up with, you definitely have a great mind as well. And you're feeling all shy and all
I'm
awkward.
trying to deflect, bouncer deflecting back to the time spent listening. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about music. You were saying how do you get time spent listening? So music is one of them. Who's going to walk away with 10,000 dirhams? That's another one.
The tease. Yeah.
That brings me to active listening and passive listening. So active listening is somebody who is listening to everything that I'm saying and then sending messages and participating and tell me your first monsoon in Dubai story. I'm going to send that message. Those are active listeners. Those are loyal listeners, right? I'm giving you Global Village passes. They will send messages.
What's the percentage? Is it a lot of people?
That's a tiny population.
Tiny population.
Yeah. Your loyal listeners are in hundreds, right? And they are dedicated listeners, but they are fewer than your passive listeners. Okay. So I know that I've got them covered. I asked them, your first day in Dubai, how many pictures do you have in your folder? What's the last story that you put in your Instagram? They always love to share because they feel connected with the voice they're listening to. They feel connected to the radio station.
वो same नाम आपको हमेशा you're having a conversation with them.
Which is also nice because you're building a community, right? And there are times when, nobody has sent a message. Then you have a bank of people you can call back and say, hey, listen, Anupam, you were not listening today. What happened? Yeah, I was busy. Okay, listen, I'm doing a fun discussion. Can I take you on air? And they'll happily come on air and share their, yeah. So those are active listeners. The focus is also on passive listening. Okay, how do I get Shalaj to make... He's not going to send me a message. He's a rich bugger. He is driving a fancy car, living in a fancy house. He doesn't care about 10,000 dirhams. But because he's a human being, he's curious to know what question Lokesh is going to ask, how tricky it's going to be, how bad it's going to be, how difficult it's going to be, how funny it's going to be. So that's passive listening. Also, forget about anything. If I ask you a question that teases your brain, that's passive listening, right? I say Ranveer Singh की first movie के director, और रणवीर सिंह की first movie की जो heroine थी, उनकी first movie के director का नाम. Send me a message on this. Now I have asked a question and you're suddenly thinking Ranveer Singh की first movie Band Baja Bharat. You're not going to send me a message, but you're thinking, and I have engaged you passively. Okay, so then they would spend next 15 minutes listening through the ads, their not favorite song and all that. They would want to come back to know what the answer is. So that's passive listening. And the last bit, the tease bit that I was talking about a little earlier, is how well you tease. You're going into a break. Coming up, something as simple as coming up next is this Arijit Singh song. You play the hook of the song, and that's your favorite song, dude. So you're going to listen to the next 10 minutes of the ads because you want to listen to the Arijit song. Or this famous song, I'm not going to reveal what the song is. It's a famous Shah Rukh Khan song sung by Arijit Singh along with Kajol, shot in Bulgaria with a massive dupatta flying in the air. Do you have any idea what song I'm talking about coming up in next 5 minutes? You're going to literally spend 5 minutes off the radio saying, what song is he talking about? You know?
Also, you structure the question in such a way, it makes me feel like zyada log ko pata nahi hoga because you've added these so many twists and turns. You get this feeling, oh, shayad I've got this first, so let me try and message.
Yeah,
right?
Or you don't know the answer. 7% of the people in Dubai think that this is something that they would never do during summers. What is it? But I'm going to tell you after the break. So there are like multiple ways by which you can tease as well. You can tease with music, you can tease with questions, you can tease with questions, contests, so many other things.